So this video is going to be about the diet. I developed the Tanis Diet and variations for controlled weight gain, which I mentioned previously as a variation I could work on developing. And kind of going back through my journals, which I have, the journals go back to kind of the beginning of 2020, so, and I still have them. And the perk of getting rid of some stuff is I've held on to those. And so there's kind of three paces of weight gain that I have, this is from experience, whether intentional or not, my patterns fall into these categories, and since I've kind of gone back and observed what the three thresholds for speed or paces are, I've been like, okay, slower, moderate, and faster weight gain, and taking and actually doing those amounts of calories and working them in the diet. And yeah, they do work, and they work really well, especially if I think about it in advances. This is for weight gain. So that's a little bit of the introduction. I'll link to you the Tanis Diet playlist, the Tanis Diet definitions playlist, and the Tanis Diet and its variations. So this is the variation of the Tanis Diet for controlled weight gain. So let's begin with the variations for slower speed weight gain. So in the Tanis Diet and its variations playlist, as of current, today is Sunday, 17 December 2023. I'm Tanis Coralee Leonhardi. This is my YouTube channel, Tanis Leonhardi, and the Tanis Diet is what I eat and use to control my weight. I developed it for myself because I have hyperactivity, I have low blood pressure, I have asthma, I have some stuff that's just kind of like culminating of factors. I developed this because my eating isn't necessarily the same as everybody else, and I've struggled with my weight, and this works for me. So that's a little bit about that. So let's go into variations for slower speed weight gain. So actually this is still part of that, I guess technically, but I'll think about that for timestamps in the chapters. In the Tanis Diet and its variations, so that playlist is something with a holiday splurge. So a holiday splurge I defined as something, calories, small splurge that I could burn off in one day. So for slow weight gain, the amount of calories I burn on a day of the Tanis Diet or one of its variations, that is the size of the splurge. And specifically like the Tanis Diet with PMS modifications, and the Tanis Diet with running low volume. So take those, which tends to be about like 800 to 1,000 calories a day on average. So we say 800 calories on average. Then essentially to achieve slow weight gain, do an extra 800 calories on top of the day. And if I want to maintain good mental health, what I would do is keep the exercise and eat an additional 800. I find it works wonders on my mental health if I don't drop the exercise. Okay, so that's the first one. Second one is for moderate weight gain, moderate speed weight gain. That would be, I would put that at about 1.5 to 2 holiday splurges. So that would be like, it would take me a day to 2 days to burn off. So taking the 800 calorie average, I would essentially do, take and do 1,200 to 1,600 extra calories for a day and keep the exercise, again, for mental health. So that's moderate speed. That would be, so if I'm eating 2,100 calories, that would be eating about on the diet, then it'd be about 33. No, it'd be more than that because of it's a diet. So it's like, that's where this gets tricky. So essentially, if let's say my maintenance calories is 2,900 calories, then I can eat 1,200 to 1,600 more than that. So that would be like 4,100 to 4,500 for moderate weight gain. For fast weight gain, so that's moderate, faster, and this is one I the threshold I don't do very often because I'm not a fan of it, is like 2,400. So it's about 3 days for me to burn it off. It's not a lot of fun for me personally. So if I normally eat 2,100, let's say, calories, it would be, and 2,900 is my maintenance level, then 2,900 plus 2,400 is 5,300 calories in one day. I am not a big fan of it, and I do to maintain mental health. So good mental health, it does get the job done really, really well. And I personally do need to keep my exercise to maintain good personal health. I would say for slower and moderate weight gain, the slower, it's not necessarily necessary for me to keep my exercise for every day of weight gain for me to keep good mental health. For moderate, it kind of fluctuates. For faster, I do need to maintain that exercise to maintain good mental health. So if you're gonna do it, and I don't do it for more than like 2 to 3 days. I do 2 to 3 days at the faster weight gain and then maintain. And it takes approximately 3 to 4 days after one single isolated controlled faster weight gain day. It takes 3 to 4 days for me to see the entire weight gain. So for me, controlled weight gain is really controlled weight gain because I want to, especially now where I am at with my weight, which is like high 120s, I can see 5 pounds different, or I can see if I eat an extra 2,400 calories, I can actually see where the weight goes if I wait 3 to 4 days for the weight to fully kind of distribute across my body. And especially if I have multiple days of that, right? That's over a pound of weight gain. And I was in the mid 120s, and so like pounds. So faster weight gain, I can see it. And so it's really controlled as in eat a bunch, 1, 2, or 3 days, stop, wait 3 or 4 days to see where the weight distributes and see if I've gained enough weight. Okay, notes. Why do I do this? I personally do this as a reality check on whether I've lost weight or not. Which might sound stupid, but especially at my current weight, there's sometimes it's like, I can see it and I can feel it, but there's like, is there a way for me to like really just grab onto, I have actually lost the weight, right? And looking at a scale doesn't help, right? Like I'm like, looking at myself, I'm like, I want to accept that I've lost the weight. So what I do is I gain half a pound or a pound to see if there's a change. And then once there's a change, I'm like, okay, I have lost the weight. And I go back, I lose that weight back off, and I'm fine. And people talk about like skinny people think they're fat. I'm like, you know how I prevent that? I gain a pound and see where the pound goes and then lose it and I'm fine. Right? So it's kind of about positive body image and accepting my weight and making sure I don't get too skinny, but also accepting where I am and feeling comfortable with it, kind of thing. So in conclusion, that's the Tanis diet and variations to it for controlled weight gain.